Hey guys! So today I am going to be talking about a subject that I've wanted to make a video about for years, basically since I first started my channel, but I've managed to avoid it because it is quite a complex topic and I didn't really relish the thoughts of trying to explain it in an easy to understand way because I don't think I'm very good at that. But I sat down and I wrote out a blog post, so I feel like everything is a little bit better organized in my head. But today I'm going to be talking about color theory and how you can apply the principles of color theory to decide what color eyeshadow to wear or what lipstick and how to pair them together. One of the most frequently asked questions I get is how do I choose what lipstick to wear with my eyeshadow, what blush to wear with my lipstick? And it's a really difficult question to answer because I don't want to go out and say these are the rules, follow these rules and your makeup will always look good, because I really don't like the idea of rules in makeup. If you like pairing green lipstick with purple eyeshadow and you think that looks good and you feel happy in that, then absolutely wear that, wear whatever makes you happy. But if you are a little bit unsure about what you should be wearing and you kind of just want some guidelines to follow, then this can definitely help you out. And before we get started with the tutorial, I'm so sorry it's taken me so long to announce the winner of my 100,000 subscriber giveaway. I just kept forgetting to say it in videos. I actually picked the winner a week ago and I have gotten in touch with her. Her name was Heather Loomis. So congratulations, Heather, and hard luck to everybody else that entered and didn't win. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have had 14,000 prizes because that's how many of you entered. I could not believe the amount of entries that I got. So thank you all so much. But I will be doing a lot more giveaways in the future. So hopefully in the future you might win something. So just before we get into the makeup portion, there's a couple of things to explain. First of all, to make this easy for yourself, I recommend that you go onto Google Images and you search for a color wheel, download it to your desktop and just have that as a resource. The color wheel is basically what we're going to be referring to decide what colors that we're going to pair together. Now, I did talk about a color wheel before in my concealer and corrector video, and the same principles of color theory apply when you are trying to cover something up on your face, when you're trying to disguise redness or dark circles under your eyes. You do need to have a basic understanding of color theory for that. I'll link that video down below so you can see that a color wheel does have multiple applications in makeup. And not only that, you can use it to help decide what colors to wear in your wardrobe, or if you're decorating your home. They are a very useful little resource to have. And I'm just going to explain a few technical terms to hopefully make your understanding of this a bit easier as we're going through. The first word is hue, and hue is the color in its most pure and basic form. So that can be any of the primary colors, blue, red, or yellow, or it can mean the colors that you get when you mix those colors together, or the colors that you get when you mix those secondary colors together. So it's just the most basic and pure form of a color. A tint is when you take a color and you add white to it. So that could be taking purple and adding white, and then you get more of a lavender tint, right through to like really pale pastel purple. It's still the same color, it's still the same hue, but it's just tints of that color as you add more and more white. And then conversely, a shade is exactly the same but adding black. So it's getting darker and darker, still purple, but it's shades of purple. And then a tone is the same thing again, but adding gray. So you're kind of dulling the color and it's getting a little bit darker, but just not as intensely as black. There are infinite combinations of colors that you can use using your color wheel, and many different ways of combining them. But to keep things simple for this video, I'm going to talk about 3 basic looks. And the first one is the most simple of them all, and that is a monotone or a monotonous look. And I know it probably sounds like the most boring of them, but it can actually be a very, very beautiful look. So a monotone look is when you pick one color and you use that everywhere on the face. So you use tints, tones, and shades of that color on your face to create variety, but you're still actually using that one hue. So a great example of that is 90s makeup, where you'll pick brown or like a mauve color, and that's used all over the face. That's used as blush, it's used as eyeshadow, it's used on the lips. It's all one shade. It looks very, very, very beautiful if it's done right, but that's probably the easiest and safest way to figure out what colors to pair with what. Literally pick one shade, usually probably your lipstick or a neutral eyeshadow to work with, and then just use tints and tones of that shade everywhere else in your face. Another thing to bear in mind, just to throw like a spanner in the works and make things a little bit more complicated, is it's not only the makeup that affects the look, it's also your coloring. So your hair color will affect how these colors interact with each other, your eye color, your skin color. So if you want to do a truly monotonous look, then you'll have to match it to your hair color, or you'll have to match it to, you know, your skin color or something. Like if I wanted to do a really monotonous look, I would have to pick some kind of a tint or tone or shade of my hair color and then work that in, and you get that really, it's actually a little bit more impactful because you've got even more of that color on your face. The second look is introducing a couple of more colors, but it's still fairly simple, and that is the analogous or analogous. Not entirely sure how that's pronounced. And that means using colors that are right beside each other on the color wheel. So that could mean you have blue and you're using a little bit of turquoise and maybe a little bit of purple. They're right beside each other. And it's probably the look that most of us would just naturally do in our makeup, because those kind of colors are the easiest to blend together. So if you're doing a brown smoky eye, like if you look at the top of my eye here, I've got a dark brown, and then I've got a more orangey color, and I've got like a more beige color, and really those colors do sit beside each other on the color wheel. They're not hue, or they're not tints or tones of the same color. I really hope that makes sense. And then the third type of look is my own personal favorite, and it's kind of the more out there look, and it's actually what I'm wearing on my face right now. So this is called a triadic makeup look. So this is picking 3 colors from the color wheel in a triangular formation. So they're the 3 points of the triangle that are furthest away. It's an equilateral triangle in the middle of your color wheel. The further the colors are away from each other on the color wheel, the more contrasting they are. So they really pop against each other. For my makeup today, I went with the color combination of an amber yellow, blue and magenta. And if you look at the color wheel, that makes a perfect triangle on the wheel, and they are quite out there, and maybe when you first look at them you maybe wouldn't think that they would go together, but when you actually pair them together they work, they just work. So you can kind of just spin that triangle around the color wheel and you'll find all different combinations of colors that you can pair together. So if you've got a blue eyeshadow and you have no idea what color lipstick to wear, try doing the triadic trick and just seeing, you know, what else is going with it on the triangle. You don't have to use all 3 colors. Like this would work really well with a nude lip as well, or I could have just gone without the blue and those colors would work really well together. So the more of, if you use the 3 colors, you're going to get a little bit more impact. It's a little bit more out there. So you can vary it. You can totally vary it. And this is what I'm talking about. There are infinite possibilities. But I'm hoping that armed with that knowledge, you'll be able to kind of discover those combinations for yourself, because really this would be an incredibly boring video if I was to just show you every single possible combination of, you know, eyeshadow and lipstick. And where's the fun in that? Anyway, you need to discover these kind of things for yourself. So I hope that video made sense to you. It's definitely not an exhaustive explanation on color theory, but enough to dip your toes in and get you experimenting and thinking about it yourself. And definitely go and check out the blog post, because I think there will be more information in that. And sometimes with this kind of technical stuff, it's easier to read it and kind of see it. For me, I find that anyway. I need to kind of see these things written down. So if you're wondering about the makeup that I'm wearing right now, I know people are going to ask this. Yes, I did record a tutorial, and that will be up hopefully in the next couple of days. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you've got any more questions about that, about color theory, if there's something I really explained badly, do just let me know in the comments and I'll try and answer it for you. And if there's enough questions, maybe this will warrant a second video on the subject. So do just let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe. I put out videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Bye! I'm not entirely sure what these are called. They're like color riche something or other, but this color anyway is number 304 Ruby Opera. So these are like the dupe for the YSL Glossy Stains. And this is quite an intense color. I love this. Well, I'm going to use it as a stain, so I'm just going to put it on the middle of my mouth like that, and then take my little finger, dab it. These are absolutely gorgeous. They're really comfortable. They're not sticky.